This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Don McKay, in here. Thank you for joining me. Of course, broadcasting from the Radio Fire Studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. Wow, I've been under the weather all day. I debated on whether or not we were going to do today's show, but I missed a couple days this week. So we decided to go forth with things. It is, it's not often that the Breakfast Club does a show that I don't expect. You know what I mean? I expect them to play good cop, bad cop. I expect Angela Yee to try to hold things together. I expect the Envy to say, kind of out of the way, weird stuff, corny stuff. I expect Charlemagne to, be the Wendy Williams and get the tea, as they say. But in a recent appearance on this morning show juggernaut known as The Breakfast Club, Xscape and Jermaine Dupri were, in my opinion, blindsided. But I guess you can't really say blindsided because you got to know what to expect when you go on this show. I think that people have to know when they go on this show how it could go down. And to me, when you have a legendary group such as Xscape, I consider Xscape to be legends. So, clearly, I look at them as legends. Jermaine Dupri, legendary songwriter, legendary producer. There is no, as far as music goes, Jermaine Dupri is the top of the heat. And so they go on the Breakfast Club, and as I said, when you go in there, you kind of know what you're gonna get. You kind of know what you're gonna get. But for whatever reason, they go on here, and they're here to promote. They're here to promote the So Def 25th tour. That's what they're there to promote. It wasn't a whole lot of promoting. It was a recording artist, producer/label owner, and a newly reunited group, a very fragile group reuniting, but reunited nonetheless, Xscape on here to promote their appearance on this upcoming tour. That's what they were there to do. Now, I know a lot of you will say, Charlemagne asked the questions that people want to know, and he's getting to the bottom of it, blah, 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 blah. But often in hip-hop, and I talk about this often in hip-hop, we do things that should not be done, and that sets the example for the youth. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by not doing what we're supposed to do, right? What do I mean by that? Let me tell you what I mean. So we have the Breakfast Club with this legendary group, Jermaine Dupri, the producer, the original producer and originally signing this group. And they're to promote the So Def 25th tour. JD wants to let people know that So Def is one of those labels that can still get out there and tour. Now, Jermaine Dupri said that all of his acts are still alive. One of the members of Criss Cross is deceased. So you want to say that. He kind of named Death Row, and he named Bad Boy, and other labels, and said that they couldn't do this. But there's one member that's not here, as I said, one of the members of Criss Cross. But for the most part, everybody's still around. So this actually was one of the worst Breakfast Club interviews that I've seen them do. And it is. It's one of the worst interviews for many reasons. They ask questions trying to spark beef. I mean, initially, they started out like that, asking Candy, like, well, you ain't got time to be with Xscape. What you doing here? Kind of, kind of thing. And that automatically raises tension levels. Now, clearly, these girls are not best of friends, and maybe they were best of friends at one time, but they are not anymore. That's fine. I don't see the need. I don't see the need to expose that. I'm sure that Angela Yee and Charlamagne and Envy are not best of friends. Whenever you work with somebody that close for that amount of time, shit can get fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Shit can get real fuzzy. But in a very interesting question, they asked, do you girls trust each other? What kind of fucking question was that? Do you trust each other? We're here to talk about the singing. And you want to interweave personal life stuff with the music to keep it interesting, but they were just like some messy high school kids. And at one point they asked, do you trust Jermaine Dupri, to the girls? It was a hesitation. It was all kind. It was super awkward, super weird. Angela Yee had to do her bad deed and kind of drilling about Candy denying or acknowledging rumors that she slept with Jermaine Dupri's father. They open their mouth and say this bullshit. Unbelievable. You're on here to promote. It's just unbelievable. I mean, the Bow Wow questions, I get that. Jermaine Dupri, saying that Bow Wow was never on drugs while he was around him. Never in his presence did he do drugs. And that's fine. I understand that. But the union of this group sits on a very, very fragile peak. 3 of the girls have done an EP, Xscape 3, and Candy not being a part of that. I listened to the album before we went on air, the EP rather, and it was good. I thought it was good stuff. It was interesting, Candy's take on it. She said that a lot of times groups tarnish their legacy by making new music, and that the fans really want to hear the hits. Tarnish their legacy. See that cold's kicking in. Tarnish their legacy by making new music. I don't understand where that comes from. They're not tarnishing their legacy. Now, if they were making bad music, people just wouldn't buy it. And I thought it was really good that one of the sisters brought up the point that they were making music back in the day because they loved making music, not because of presumed commercial success. I thought that was good. That's why we're doing it. But Candy said that the fact that the group's franchise was what it was, making albums that did not live up to that were something that would tarnish the legacy of the group. I disagree. So she said that using the metrics of the past, Billboard hits being the measure, the metric, if they don't get that point, then it's not successful. Disagree. If you perform songs, if you're a touring group, you can get on stage and perform songs. Yes, they want to hear certain songs. However, you want to extend the amount of time that you have on stage. You can weave in some new shit, check this out, and weave it in and out, as groups frequently do. It's not tarnishing legacy. It's not. The egos that were in this interview were very... It was a lot of egos. A lot of egos here. A lot of egos. There was tension still between Candy and the other girls. Jermaine Dupri and the other girls. They spoke about a biopic that I think Mona Scott was trying to do, and Jermaine Dupri had initially given the approval for, and the girls felt like they should be involved. Blah, blah, blah. That was brought up. to me, the Breakfast Club did everything in their power to try to reignite the energy that broke the group up in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, the Breakfast Club tried to break up Xscape again. That's what they tried to do. Hopefully that does not happen. Hopefully. And I said this. Xscape's EP, the 3 girls, good. Good R&B music. Check it out. Definitely. This interview, if you like messiness, if you like awkward feelings, if you like weird moments, this interview is for you. If you like, shade talk, this interview is for you. If you want to see a good interview where you find out about the girls, this ain't it. This ain't it. And just randomly, Envy just throws in some talk about Janet Jackson. It was really weird. It's just really weird. Off. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. This was fucking off. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't have a cold.